Thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. I truly appreciate it. I know I say that every single time, but you're just going to have to trust that it's true. I genuinely appreciate you. I genuinely appreciate the time that we get to spend together today. I love my job. I do. I love helping people. I love coaching people. And I love when I'm on a coaching call and I'm able to share something with somebody that seems to, I love this word epiphany. And it means a lot of different things in religious contexts. But what I like is the old cartoon image that we used to see, where the light bulb over somebody's head just lights up as if they finally just get it. The concept that they had been searching for so long. Just a little something that I say tends to just, it makes so much sense. And I love that. So I love when one of my coaching clients has an epiphany. And I won't say who this is, but it was just a great call. And it actually wasn't even a very in depth, it wasn't like we were talking about very deep emotional relationship issues, although we were. The conversation really took a turn very quickly around just basics. And, sometimes we miss the basics because we want, I don't know that we want to, but we certainly get very skilled at making life a lot harder than it needs to be. So I was having a conversation with this guy, and he said, Bruce, all I really want to have is a fun, happy life. And I get that because I was so where that guy is right now. I spent the majority of my life not having any fun, not being happy, not enjoying my life. And I had a similar kind of epiphany. But, so I've talked about this guy. I'm sorry. I've talked about this issue before. And in my coaching conversation with this guy yesterday, I asked him if I could share, just at least the substance of what we talked about. Certainly not going to say his name. But this gentleman is roughly the same age I am, just a little bit younger, very, very successful in his career. He has a very high level. He gets paid very, very well for what he does. But he has built his life around his work. Now, he is married, they do not have children, but it seems like all he does is work. And so even on the weekends, while his job doesn't actually require him to do it, he's checking emails and getting on the website, and he just is always working. And now his wife also has a fairly high level job as well, but that just seems to be the rut that they've gotten stuck in. And so I said to him, well, if you want to have a fun and happy life, what are the things that you are doing to create fun and happiness in your life? And he couldn't tell me anything. I said, well, when was the last time you went out with your friends? And he said, well, I don't know. Gosh, it's been probably years since I went out with just my guy friends. I said, well, when was the last time, you played golf or tennis, or you went for a jog, or you just called up one of your buddies and you went to a movie, or you went to a restaurant and had a beer, or whatever it is. And he couldn't remember the last time he had done that. He just works. And I said, so okay, so when you're at work, what do you do? Do you guys take a lunch hour or stuff like that? He said, yeah, well, I usually just bring a lunch and eat at my desk, or, I'll run downstairs to, one of the food carts outside our office and just bring it back up to my office. And I said, so, all of the interaction that you have with, the people that you work with, You don't just let go of work for an hour and just enjoy. And he's like, no. And so I have quoted her before, but I love the writer, Annie Dillard. And in Annie Dillard's book, The Writer's Life, she made this very, very it's profound in so many ways, but aren't some of the most profound statements really just they're profound because they strip everything away and make it sound so obvious. So let me share with you what I shared with him. And it starts with this Annie Dillard quote that says, "How we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives." So if you want to have a fun, happy life, guess what you need to do? You need to have some fun and happy days. And not some, you need the majority of your days, the majority of your hours to be fun and happy. Sure, there's serious time, sure, there's work to be done. But when you get to the end of your life, the only way that you can look back over your life and say, I lived a fun and happy life, is to have had more fun times than non fun times, more happy times than sad times. And so, what you need to get about the business of doing is if you don't like the life that you are living, you don't necessarily absolutely have to change careers or change relationships. One of the reasons that you don't like your life is because you're not doing the things that you like. Okay. So I tasked him. I said, okay, starting this evening, do something completely out of the ordinary. Just maybe leave your laptop at the office, okay? Or when you get home, don't check your email. Go for a walk. Take your wife out for dinner. Go see a movie. Ride your bike. He's got a bike, but it hasn't. He says, I don't even think there's air in the tires. Well, put air in the tires of your bike and go for a bike ride. Move your body. And so I tasked him to make a list. And it's hard, because when you get stuck in a rut and you stop doing fun things, you kind of forget about the things that are fun for you to do. And so I said, well, what are some things that you, if you didn't feel like you had to work all the time, what are some things that you would really like to do? They occasionally, and not every year, but every 3 or 4 years, they take a nice vacation because they've got the money to do it. So they fly to Europe or they take a long cruise or something like that. But aside from that, we've got to build things into our days that are fun and exciting. That's the only way to live. So I'm not going to belabor the point here. Make a list of the things that you like to do and then start doing more of them. Okay? If you don't, and this is really important for couples. I know it gets much more complicated when you have kids, okay? But wives, it is very, very important for your husband to have his own friends and to go out and do things with his friends, to go play golf, to go running, to whatever guys like to do. If they go bowling, encourage him to get involved in some kind of club, a runner's club or a bowling league, or go shoot pool. So pool, or just whatever it is. Encourage your husband to have a life that is outside of your marriage, okay? Doing fun and appropriate things, okay? Husbands, encourage your wives to have girlfriends where they go out and they go shopping or they go to movies together or they go have a girls' night out dinner or spa or whatever. It doesn't it doesn't even mean that you have to have a lot of money to do these things. So it's not about like going out to dinner. It can be simple things like going for a walk or a jog, just getting out. Because when your spouse or significant other goes out and does things that are fun for him or her and does them without you, guess what it brings into your relationship? It brings in a new conversation. Well, honey, what did you do tonight? What did you and the guys do? Or, honey, what did you and the girls do? Tell me about that. What were some of the jokes you told? Or, what were the funny things? That's another thing that I encourage you to do. I'm all about journaling and keeping victory logs and gratitude logs. But another fun thing to do is at the end of the day, when you review your day, make a list of things that made you smile. Make a list of funny things, happy things. Again, we get more of in life what we focus on. And so if you will just start doing the little things, the little teeny things that make you happy in this moment, when you add all those things up, they contribute to creating a fun and happy life. It really is that simple. And so I'm going to leave it there. That's what I shared with this gentleman, and the light just went off for him. He's like, seriously? It's that simple? And I'm like, yeah, it's that simple. And he got off the call super excited because he had a list of 5 or 6 things that he hasn't done in a really long time that would be no big deal. There's no reason for him not to start doing more of those things on a regular basis. And I know that once he gets going, it creates this snowball effect. And he'll be adding to his list. And he's going to go home and encourage his wife to do the same kinds of things, to have girls' nights out, because they just, you get stuck in the rut. You wind up having the same conversations. What happened at work today? Same old. Well, don't let it be same old. If you don't want a same old boring life, then just do fun and happy things. Bring some excitement into your life. Again, it doesn't have to be extravagant. I'm not talking about go to Europe. I'm not talking about going on a cruise or, completely remodeling your house. These things don't have to cost any money. It could just be go out. It could be as simple as pick up the phone and call a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time and, just reconnect. But make a list. Do that. Will you do that for me? Make a list of the things that you would like to do that you know are fun. You've done them before, or at least you think they would be fun if you haven't done them before. They don't cost any money or very little money or at all, but start incorporating more fun into your life. That's how you have a fun and happy life. Do more fun and happy things. That's my message for you. That's part of training for the marathon of life. I would not run marathons if I didn't enjoy it. Now, there are certain parts of training for a marathon that aren't necessarily fun, but in a way, I still get enjoyment out of them because I know that I grow, I get stronger, and it helps me in my performance. But yet, if I didn't ultimately enjoy running marathons, I wouldn't run marathons, okay? So that's what it is. So there's your metaphor, okay? Life is a marathon, so let's train for it.